Okay, so far I've been giving you the problems with the 300 series, but now it's time to give you the solutions to be able to fix those problems. We are talking about what we've been working on in the background is the sump for the 300 series. Now, our last two videos we put up around about oil quality, the 020 oil, 530 and 540 oils. I have a drum of oil here that we have done some testing with. I also got another drum that we are testing that quality of oil, trying to get that data to put it into. But today we're going to show you what else we're going to be adding to it to add extra cooling and capacity to your 300 series. We're very passionate about this. I'm really excited to see the data. We'll soon have the results, but firstly we're going to show you the sump, the fitment of the sump and everything else in between it. All right, 300 series behind us. Today's all about trial fitting, making sure that the products fit, that we put them on the car and we're not gonna have any problems. This is probably the 12th revision that we've done on this sump so far. It's quite simple and easy to get them 3D printed. It gives us an understanding of clearances. This is gonna be a billet aluminium sump in the end product. It's got extra cooling on the outside and it's also gonna have cooling on the inside as well. The other thing we have to consider also is the bash plates underneath and making sure we've got the correct protection underneath it, and that is why we'll be using a set of J-Max bash plates under this. We've also designed with them air vents in there to help increase the airflow over the bottom of the sump. This will be suitable for diff drop kits as well, so that's something that we had to put in place to make sure that we had the clearance there, because when the diff drop kit goes in, there is a bit of movement of where the diff gets situated, and we wanted to make sure we had plenty of clearance for this sump. All these things are to reduce oil temperature, to prolong the oil, to help ensure that you're not going to have problems with the engine while you're traveling heavy loads around Australia. Let's go try it out. So as you can see, this is the factory sump that's on here at the moment. It's quite shallow, it doesn't hold a lot of volume, and there's a lot of packing that's underneath it, stopping the dirt from hitting between the sump and the bash plate, building up material in there, rubbing through the sump, so they have soft padding in there. The big issue is that they don't hold the volume. And this increases the volume to around 8 litres, which is, as you can see, this literally goes right over the top, and we've increased the volume quite considerably. You can see, obviously, we have ribs on the bottom of the sump, which will help with the airflow. Pulling the air over those ribs will reduce the temperature of the oil inside. We actually have the same imprint of that on the inside as well, so it's working both ways. The next design we did, we wanted to include the fact that made it quite easy to put the sump on. But what that actually helps is it gives us more volume, but also helps with cooling as well. The sump actually has a 5-degree angle, so when we're ensuring we're draining this sump, we're actually getting all of the oil out of the car, therefore not being trapped in any of that. So it's something that is, definitely very important. So we've gone to all bases to make sure that this sump is going to fit correctly, work correctly, and make sure that when we're draining the oil, all the oil's coming out of it correctly as well. That's why we've moved the sump plug. We moved it to the front where there's a lot of room. So to do this oil change, we'll require the bash plate to come off, but that way you can ensure that you can get all of it off and clean up and make sure it's all right before you finish the job anyhow. I'm really looking forward to the end result of this product. I think it'll look amazing, and I'm really interested to see on the data. Obviously, that's something that we haven't collected yet from doing this sump because we're in a 3D model, but once we go to a billet, we'll start doing that testing and really get to see the results of what this product can actually do for you in your car. Behind me is Jason from J-Max's 300 series chop now. I mentioned to you in there with our 300 series, we're fitting the sump on that, and we did it with this car as well because it's got a diff drop kit. One of the reasons why we got this car is because they've got 2 chop 300 series out at the moment. We needed a car that we can put through its paces, and Jason was cool enough to give us his 300 series to do some testing on. So we're going to put this car through its paces, we're going to load up with a heap of weight, we're going to put a trailer behind it with a heap of weight in that, and we're going to simulate what it'd be like to get to the maximum type of that GCM as far as what we can carry on the road, and put it through its paces to understand about what happens to the oil, how it breaks down, and the temperatures we're running. You know, I didn't expect this oil journey to turn to where it has, but I'm really interested to see on the outcome. And what I'm really focused on is trying to then provide a product or provide something to you guys that will give you the reliability and the insurance to travel without having these problems. You got to remember, Toyota never designed these cars to be as big and to carry as much weight as we do nowadays. So I think it's up to us, if we're designing products around them, we really need to push forward to make sure that they become reliable. And that's what we're doing here. So we won't sell a product just based on having a product out there. We really base that on having data, because I think the data is what shows you the product can do. And that to me, feels morally right to be able to sell a product that I know there's going to be some sort of benefit to you guys. So come along on this journey with us to see the results for yourself.